Hey guys, welcome back to the blog. It is Tuesday, a surprisingly beautiful day outside, which is funny because my mood is completely in the gutter after watching what just went down on our screens. Grab a coffee or maybe something stronger because we have a lot to unpack today. And honestly, I am still sitting here staring at my screen, trying to process the absolute madness that the writers just threw at us. We all knew the tension was bubbling. We all knew that the corporate war between Forrester Creations and the newly revamped Logan brand was going to have casualties. But I don't think any of us, and I mean literally no one in the fandom, predicted that it would end with a traumatic brain injury, handcuffs, and the complete and total destruction of a father and son relationship. So let's just get right into it because my head is spinning. Will Spencer just punched Ridge Forrester? And I don't mean a little soap opera slap or a dramatic shove into a swimming pool. I mean a full-on, devastating, life-altering punch that sent Ridge crashing to the ground. And the sound of Ridge's head hitting the floor. I actually gasped. It was brutal. It was visceral. And now Ridge is in the hospital with a traumatic brain injury. A TBI. Guys, this isn't just a concussion where he wakes up tomorrow and is fine. The doctors are talking about severe trauma, swelling, the whole 9 yards. Ridge might not wake up for a while, and when he does, who knows what kind of state he will be in. Classic soap trope, right? Memory loss, personality change. Maybe he wakes up and thinks he's still married to Taylor, or maybe he forgets who Brooke even is. But right now, the medical reality is terrifying, and the Forrester family is in absolute shambles. Steffy is probably going to burn down the entire city of Los Angeles over this. But let's back up for a second. Let's actually look at how we got here because Will didn't just snap out of nowhere. The kid has been a walking pressure cooker for weeks. He was forced by his own mother, Katie, to keep the massive secret about Hope defecting to Logan. He had to lie to his girlfriend, Electra, who runs the Forrester jewelry line. He was drowning in guilt. Then he gets into a brutal physical brawl with RJ at the beach house. Electra dumps him, throws her necklace at him, and walks out. And then Ridge, being classic arrogant, overbearing Ridge, corners Will. Ridge has been acting like this dictatorial patriarch, demanding that Electra stay away from Will, calling him dangerous, calling him a threat. Ridge got up in Will's face, pushing him, taunting him, treating him like garbage, and Will just snapped. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Ridge here. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Violence is never the answer, and Will is 100% in the wrong for throwing that punch. You can't just assault someone because they are yelling at you. But from a purely psychological standpoint, you can see the exact moment Will's brain just broke under the weight of all these corporate secrets and personal heartbreaks. So the police arrive. The flashing red and blue lights, the sirens. It was actually a beautifully shot scene, I have to admit, very cinematic. Will is standing there, completely numb, staring at his own hands while the paramedics load a bleeding, unconscious Ridge onto a stretcher. The cops slap the cuffs on Will right there at the scene. He is arrested for felony assault, and you can see the sheer terror in his eyes. He's a rich kid. He's a Spencer. He doesn't go to jail. He expects his dad to swoop in and save him. And this is where the episode goes from a tragic accident to a straight-up psychological horror movie. Will is sitting in the interrogation room at the police precinct. The cold metal table, the harsh fluorescent lights, he is terrified. He is facing years in prison for putting a high-profile fashion mogul in a coma. The door opens, and in walks Bill Spencer, Dollar Bill. Now, if you are a normal parent, you walk into that room with a team of the most expensive, cutthroat defense attorneys on the West Coast. You hug your kid. You tell him it's going to be okay and that you will fight this. But this is Bill Spencer we are talking about. Bill doesn't bring a lawyer. Bill sits down, looks at his terrified, crying son, and delivers the most cold-blooded, twisted ultimatum I think I have ever seen on this show. Bill tells Will that he is not going to bail him out. He tells Will that he has to plead guilty to the assault, but wait, it gets so much worse. Bill forces Will to confess to an additional crime he didn't even commit. Bill demands that Will tell the police that he stole Forrester Creations designs and corporate secrets to give to the Logan project. I literally paused my TV. I had to rewind it to make sure I heard it correctly. Bill is forcing his own son to confess to corporate espionage on top of a violent felony. And why? What is Bill's sick justification for this? Bill looks Will dead in the eye and tells him that it is the only way to protect Katie. Bill claims that once Ridge wakes up, or if Ridge's lawyers get involved, they are going to sue Katie and Logan Creations into oblivion. They will claim that Katie orchestrated the entire defection of Hope and stole Forrester resources. Bill convinces Will that if he doesn't take the fall as a rogue, disgruntled ex-employee who stole the designs on his own, Katie will go to prison and her company will be destroyed. Bill uses Will's love for his mother to trap him into taking the bullet for the entire corporate war. Honestly, it is so sick. It is just so deeply, fundamentally broken. Will realizes in that exact moment that he is nothing but a pawn. He is a sacrificial lamb for Bill to consolidate power at Logan Creations. Bill doesn't care about Will's freedom. Bill doesn't care that Will is going to be locked in a cage for years. Bill only cares about winning the war against Forrester Creations and protecting his financial investments in the Logan brand. You can actually see the light leave Will's eyes in that interrogation room. The realization that his father doesn't love him as a son, but only values him as a strategic asset to be discarded when convenient. The father-son relationship is completely, utterly, and permanently destroyed. Will is sitting there, facing a long-term prison sentence, realizing that he threw away his relationship with Elektra, his career, and his freedom, all for a family that is now feeding him to the wolves. And then, just when you think Bill cannot possibly sink any lower, he proves us all wrong. Bill walks out of the police station, past the swarm of reporters and paparazzi who have gathered because of the Ridge Forrester assault. And what does Bill do? Does he ask for privacy for his family? Does he express regret over Ridge's injuries? No. Bill uses the absolute media circus of his son's arrest to generate buzz for the new Logan product line. Bill stands on the steps of the police precinct and spins this massive web of PR garbage. He talks about the passion, the intensity, the cutting-edge drama behind the fashion industry. He basically implies that the new Logan line is so revolutionary, so dangerous, that it is driving people to madness. He uses his son's tragedy as a marketing stunt. He is capitalizing on a traumatic brain injury and a prison sentence to get clicks and pre-orders for Katie and Hope's new collection. I am at a loss for words, but clearly I'm not because I can't stop typing. It is just so infuriating. We all know Bill has a history of being a terrible father. Let's be real, guys. We have been following this show for years. We remember when Bill blew up the Spectra building while Liam was still inside. We remember how he manipulated Wyatt over and over again. Bill Spencer is a monster. He is a charismatic, wealthy, entertaining monster, but a monster nonetheless. But this, sacrificing his youngest son to the prison system just to win a fashion war and get some free press, it is a new low, even for Dollar Bill. And what is Katie going to do when she finds out? Right now, Katie is probably sitting in her office, celebrating the successful launch of Hope by Logan, completely oblivious to the fact that her son is sitting in a jail cell taking the fall for her. When Katie finds out that Bill forced Will to confess to corporate espionage just to protect her brand, she is going to absolutely lose her mind. Or will she? That is the scary question. Katie has been so ruthless lately, she forced Will to keep all these secrets in the first place. She told him it was just business. Will Katie actually be relieved that her company is safe, or will the mother in her finally wake up and realize that she and Bill have destroyed their child's life? I want to believe Katie will go to the police and clear Will's name regarding the stolen designs. But with the way the writers have been taking her character down this dark, corporate path, I am honestly not sure anymore. And what about Elektra? How is she going to react to this news? She just dumped Will because of his violent outburst against RJ. Now she is going to see on the news that will not only put her uncle Ridge in the hospital with ATBI, but also supposedly stole from her family's company. She is going to feel so vindicated in her decision to leave him. But deep down, I wonder if she will feel a tiny bit of guilt. If she hadn't pushed him away, if she had just listened to him, maybe he wouldn't have been in the headspace to snap and hit Ridge. And you just know RJ is going to use this to his advantage. RJ has been hovering around Elektra, playing the protective hero. Now that Will is literally a convicted felon in the making, RJ has a clear, unobstructed path to Elektra's heart. RJ is going to play the supportive shoulder to cry on while Elektra processes the trauma of her uncle being in a coma and her ex-boyfriend being a criminal. It is so calculating, and honestly, RJ is starting to annoy me just as much as Bill. Everyone on this show is just using each other's pain to get what they want. Let's talk more about Ridge's condition, because this is a massive shift for the show's dynamic. With Ridge incapacitated, who takes the reins at Forrester Creations? Eric just fired Donna and is dealing with his own marital collapse. Steffy is already running on fumes trying to handle the PR nightmare of Hope leaving. Now Steffy has to deal with her father being in a coma and the media frenzy surrounding the assault. Steffy is going to go on a warpath. She is going to want Will locked up for life, and she is going to want to completely annihilate Logan Creations. The corporate war just became a blood feud. I keep second-guessing myself, wondering if maybe there is a twist coming. Maybe Will is wearing a wire. Maybe Will is playing Bill. But no, the look of sheer devastation on that kid's face was too real. He is broken. He has given up. He is going to sign whatever confession Bill puts in front of him because he truly believes he has nothing left to live for on the outside. His girlfriend is gone. His family betrayed him, and he believes he is saving his mother. It is a tragic, Shakespearean level of manipulation. And the fans on social media are absolutely losing it. My timeline is just a wall of fire right now. Half the fans are screaming for Bill to be locked up, and the other half are crying for Will. It is rare that a soap opera actually makes you feel this kind of deep, uncomfortable sadness for a character. Usually, it's just fun drama. Who is sleeping with who wore what on the runway? But this is heavy. A young man's life is being thrown away for the sake of a fashion line. I don't even know how they resolve this. How does Will ever forgive Bill? He can't. Even if Will somehow gets out of this, even if the charges are dropped or reduced, the fact that Bill asked him to do this is a line that can never be uncrossed. The Spencer family is irreparably shattered. Liam and Wyatt are going to have to choose sides, and if they have any moral compass left, they will side with Will and turn their backs on their father. So yeah, I am exhausted. This episode took everything out of me. It was brilliantly acted. I have to give props to the actors. The emotion in that interrogation room was palpable, but it was just so dark. I guess we just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Will Ridge wake up? Will Katie find out the truth? Will Bill actually get away with this sick PR stunt? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you as disgusted with Bill as I am? Do you think Katie will save her son or protect her company? I need to go lie down and process this. I'll catch you guys in the next update.